Hello, everybody. I'm Tina Kadish from Job to Joy. Thank you so much for all of you amazing women for showing up tonight for this webinar, the #1 secret to leaving my corporate job. I'm going to share what I found to be my secret, but everybody's going to have their own thoughts. The purpose of this webinar is to really help you really learn about if you're making a transition from a 9 to 5, you're looking to start a business. What are some strategies for success? What is a foundation to build your entrepreneurial journey? I'm also going to talk about tonight. I'm going to share my screen in a second. Good evening, Romika. Thank you so much for being here. And so I'm gonna go through the agenda. I'm going to share my screen in a bit. But for those of you that don't know me, I'm a business coach. I'm an author and a speaker. And my journey was, I was in that corporate 9 to 5 job for many, many years until 2018, when I finally exited that career and focusing on my business full time. Was it easy? No. I did it for 6 years, building my business part-time while working full-time. And I got to tell you, there were many challenges along the way, and I was very frustrated, and I didn't see the results. I didn't see that I was going to get out of that rat race. And it was really frustrating. And so I don't know if you can relate to this, but tonight we're going to have a discussion, because I want to have an open conversation here with you about some of the challenges that you might be facing yourself. And because tonight we're going to talk about limiting beliefs, we're going to talk about some challenges that we have that keep us from moving forward into what we desire. And then I'll share my secret, and then I'll also share some next steps, how we can continue this journey for tonight. But so I did not begin as a business coach. I started as really a career coach, helping women find their passions. However, what I discovered along the way, that when I was helping women find their passions, all of them wanted to start a business. They didn't want that 9 to 5 job. They wanted to leave that 9 to 5 job and wanted to have freedom. And so I became a business coach. I said, instead of referring business to people for business coaching, I became one. So that's how I became a business coach. So your business evolves. It changes over time. You may begin one place, but that doesn't mean you're going to end there. Who knows where my journey will continue? Just because right now I'm a business coach, my audience are women that are in that space. So I'm going to share my screen so that I'm going to share a little bit more about me, and we're going to have fun for the next hour and a half. Okay, so if you don't know, you're in this webinar, the #1 secret to leaving your corporate job. Everybody can see this, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. All right, I will. Okay, oops. Okay, so this is what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about what are the shifts that you go from being an employee to being an entrepreneur. And this is something that I definitely learned, and maybe some of you can relate to this. I do want to go around the room after and learn more about you as well. Romika, I know you're brand new here and need to know a little bit more about you, but we're going to talk about also what are the common challenges. I'm going to share a tool that has to do with how do we overcome limiting beliefs, because believe it or not, limiting beliefs stop us. There's things that we just have these beliefs in, and we don't move forward. I'm going to talk about the strategies for success, seven steps to be successful, some strategies, and how do we build a foundation towards that entrepreneurial journey. Okay. All right, just a little bit about me. I'm a wife and mother of 2. Well, I have a son. My daughter passed away 4 years ago, but this is a picture of us when she was alive, and the 4 of us, so I always loved this picture. I already shared, I'm a business coach, author, and speaker. I've been in the training and development. I've been in talent acquisition. Last year, I won the award for Best Inspirational Speech, and I'm the author of 2 books. Probably there'll be a 3rd this year, so stay tuned, because that will be coming at some point. So, but that's a little bit about me. So I began in 2012. That's when I started my business, and I started to help women with finding their passions. What is it that they desire? And I found in my journey that a lot of women, over 85% actually, are unhappy, they're stuck, they're not fulfilled. And so I want to change that. I really want to empower the new or aspiring female entrepreneurs to really connect with their passions. And how do I do that? Not only do I help them to find what they desire, get clarity around that, but I also help them create a successful business blueprint so that they can be profitable, so that they can have joy and freedom and prosperity in their life. I am all about freedom. When I got laid off from the corporate world, I got a taste of the freedom, and I said, you know, I don't want to go back to a job. However, I did go back to a job because of fear. And because I also didn't believe in myself that I could have a business and make money. I didn't feel that I could do it because I had never been an entrepreneur. I've always worked for jobs. And so if people had told me many years ago that I'd be an entrepreneur today, I would say, no way, no how, because that's not even something that I could even envision. So that's how I got started and who I empower. So I help those unhappy, stuck women that are in a job and they have no direction or focus. Some of you here tonight are in that space. All right. And I help those new or aspiring that want to be that entrepreneur, that want to be that business owner with some employees so that they can have strategies in their business that will bring them the clients making money. All right. So this is something that I want them to do. Okay. So before we go into the next slide, I want to stop the share and we're going to go and I want to have a conversation first with some of you. Romika, are you able to be on camera?
No, but I can talk.
Okay, great. So I want to go around the room and I want to hear from you. Where are you in your journey? And some of you, I know where you are in your journey, but I would like you to share it anyway. Romika doesn't know everybody. I don't know enough about Romika. And she's brand new tonight because all of us we've seen each other before. So Romika, I am so grateful for you joining us tonight. So why don't we start with Kathy? Tell us a little bit about where you're tuning in from and a little bit about where are you on your journey right now towards the entrepreneurial.
Sure. I'm tuning in from Washington State. And I have been for the last 18 years a stay-at-home mom. Prior to that, I was self-employed selling real estate and going through the transition of raising my kids and getting them to teenage years and beyond. I realized I need to get back into figuring out my identity. And so I've transitioned from just being a stay-at-home mom to a personal growth coach, helping other moms transition from their original, job of being a mother, transition them into something that they want to do, either passions, either a new career or entrepreneurship, or just rediscover their own identity that they put on hold for their family.
Okay.
And so that's what I do out here.
Awesome. And the language that we use, the word that she used, just a mom.
Yeah.
Think about that language.
Right. We kind of pigeonholed ourselves and we need to stop that. And that's one of my missions, is to help moms everywhere to remember that we shouldn't be pigeonholing ourselves. It ends up happening.
Yes. So be mindful of the language that we use, that we say out there in the
and to ourselves.
And to ourselves.
The language that we actually say inside our mindset is where we need to make the first change so that we can get back into what our purpose is and what our passions are and the things that actually lead us and light us up and bring us joy.
Absolutely. All right, Steph, what about you? Tell us about you tonight.
Sure. So I am tuning in from Dutchess County, New York, and I'm an empowerment coach for women who have left toxic relationships or women who are trying to survive in a toxic workplace. And I help them stay resilient in a toxic workplace and help women really find their true selves again after a bad relationship.
Awesome. Okay. Claire, tell us about you.
So I'm from Texas, originally from Vermont. I get to help people learn financial education and grow and develop and take back their own lives because it's very, very, very important to be financially independent and not have to rely on somebody else. And I think that that's where a lot of women get into trouble because they have their husbands who all have all the money and they don't know any of that. And just, I mean, obviously not everybody, but like a lot of them get into trouble, you know, in debt and a lot of that stuff. My personal journey, I got to leave Vermont when I was 23. I was an alcoholic. My mother I hadn't talked to in years. My dad was really super concerned about me and didn't really know how to help. So I found out that the real world is pretty damn hard. And,
Okay.
but I built myself back up. I spent the last 5 years doing personal development, getting sober, working out, chasing dreams. And I ended up in Texas and I haven't left. So
Awesome. So you're on a journey. So are you working full time in your business right now?
yes. So last October, I took the leap and went full-time entrepreneurship. I do have a part-time job, but it's like a 1099 and I'm training Colts with a friend of mine. And I also model and now I'm acting. So
Awesome. So you've got a couple things going on. All right. Awesome. We always need to have a couple things going on. All right. Awesome. Romika, thank you so much for showing up on camera. Tell us about you.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. My name is Ramika Temple. I am a wife. I'm a mother of 4. I'm trying to get out of this corporate world 9 to 5. This is my second go round. 20 years ago, I left the corporate world to do hair full time. I'm a cosmetology by trade. I left that 20 years ago, and then 4 years later, I started having children. So I became a stay-at-home mom for about 13 years. And in 2019, I made it back into the corporate world. And I'm here now trying to get out of it. But it allowed me to launch Mommy's Tea Time. And Mommy's Tea Time is about mothers like me that was a stay-at-home mom who wants to find something to do, their own income, become an entrepreneur, and I show them how they can get started. A lot of times they just do not know how to get started. So that's what Mommy's Tea Time is about. So this webinar caught my attention because I need to figure out how I can do this full time.
Okay, awesome. Very good, Romika. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I know that because Romika and I are in another community and she was on one time and I remember the Mommy's Tea Time. Yes, I remember you now. All right. And make sure that all of you put your info in the chat so that you can connect. Now, Romika, where are you located?
I'm sorry, yes, I am located in New Jersey, Voorhees,
Okay.
New Jersey,
Okay, very nice.
right outside of Philadelphia,
I
Atlantic
love it.
City, and close to New York too. I have a choice.
Awesome. I love that. All right. I'm in Connecticut, Danbury, Connecticut. All right. Chandra is all the way from Texas also. So Chandra, tell us about where are you in your journey right now and a little bit about you.
Okay, my name is Chandra Thomas, and I have a blog called Adventures in a Dish. It used to be Chandra's Food Adventures, and right now I finally got my LLC. So now I'm trying to get a what you call it, that's required in Texas if you want to run a business to protect from criminal stuff.
I'm not okay. I don't know what that is, but all right. So you're trying to set up your business.
Yeah, I'm setting it up now. I'll get into it, but the state of Texas requires that we get a beneficial protection.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay, awesome. And she's on her way home right now. You're working a full-time job, right, Chandra?
All right.
Okay. All right, good. All right. So go ahead.
In all honesty, I'm not happy with it right now.
Okay, well, then you're in the right place, Chandra. Thank you so much. Okay, because I know the feeling of not being happy, being frustrated. Talk about frustration, let me tell you. Days going into a job as a recruiter, I was a recruiter, and I really despised it, but I did it every day because I needed the money. But also it was building my business. I'll be honest with you. It was building my business, funding my business, and I was getting things in place. So it was not a bad thing, but it wasn't going to last forever. All right. And so, and that happened in 2018. Then in 2019, my daughter got diagnosed with cancer. She passed away in 2020. And so I was fortunate to be an entrepreneur because I was able to take care of her. So I can't emphasize enough how having that freedom. Now, Romika has 4 kids. Kathy has 5. Okay. So she beat you, Romika. All right. She has 5 boys. Okay. I know. So she's a little busy. So she's not just a mom. All right. That word has to get out of your vocabulary. All right. Because we are not just a mom, just a wife, we always identify ourselves with a specific, it's like our identity. It's not our identity. All right. But we put that on ourselves. Okay. All the time. So, all right, let me get back to the slides so that we can continue and talk more about this topic tonight. Okay. So I wanted to share this slide with you. The mindset of an employee and the mindset going to, what is the difference between an employee mindset and an entrepreneurial mindset? And I want everybody to understand this. And there, I did some research on this and I said, I want to really share about the shifts. How do we go from an employee to an entrepreneur? All right. And this is something that I really have, since 2018, this was something I've had to really work on and shift. So let's look at the employee mindset. When we are in an employee, we have specific duties and tasks. We are assigned by an employer. Okay. We have those duties and tasks. Whereas when you're an entrepreneur, you are the one that identifies the opportunities. You're the one that's driving the growth. Because guess what, everybody? You are the CEO of your life. So I want all of you to start thinking about being an entrepreneur, having the entrepreneurial mindset. And even if you're in a job right now, but you're working towards, you're working in your business as well. All right. What are things that you're doing right now in your business that are creating value, that are driving the growth? What opportunities are you identifying? Because you don't have somebody else that's behind you or calling you or saying, Tina, need to do this. Romika, you got to do this. Kathy, you got to do this. All right. No, you are the one that's in the driver's seat. You are the CEO. So I want you to really think about, I am the CEO of my company, and put that CEO hat on. All right. When you're an employee, it's all about security and stability over risk. But guess what? There is no stability in the corporate world. I was laid off. I know people have been laid off. And so there is no security. We think there is security because we go there, we get a check every 2 weeks or however you're paid, but you're not secure. So, but we have that mindset of security. Whereas when you're an entrepreneur, there's risk, there's uncertainty. We are prepared for failures and we view them as a learning experience. So as an entrepreneur, every day it's up to me on what I'm going to, choose my day. I choose my schedule. I choose the people that I'm going to schedule meetings with. I choose those networking opportunities. I choose every day how I want my day to be. All right. So as an entrepreneur, we understand that there's more risk and there's definitely uncertainty. We don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. Okay. In an employee, you look to leadership for direction and decisions. Whereas an entrepreneur, you're the one that's solving the problems. You're proactive. All right. It's you You're not looking to, you know, you don't have a CEO, you are the CEO. You don't have a manager, you are that person. And so when you're thinking about in your own business, you know, you could be, a manager is the person that's doing it all. So when you're first starting your business, you're doing it. Or you're not only a manager, but you're an admin, you are everything. You don't have a budget yet to hire people. So you're doing the whole thing, but I want you to really put your CEO hat on and start to think as a CEO, okay? As an employee, you view failure as a negative, all right? That you don't want negative things. You want to avoid negativity, right? However, as an entrepreneur, you view failure as part of the learning and development process. Okay? That's how you view failure. All right? Let's talk about goals. Goals are aligned with the employer's objectives. Well, it's all about the employer in a company, whereas with being an entrepreneur, it's all about you are self-defined. Your goals are self-defined, tied to an entrepreneur's vision. So it's your vision, it's your goals, okay? And as an employee, you're operating within systems and processes. Whereas an entrepreneur, you're always looking for solutions, continually seeking innovation. Opportunities in an employee, opportunities are seen as a promotion. And the reason why I want to share this too, on the entrepreneurial side, there's opportunities everywhere. Because if you saw the first one here, we are identifying opportunities. But in an employee, it's really, you see it as a ladder, a promotion, all right, that you strive to. But in an entrepreneur, there's always opportunities. Like, for example, I'll give you some examples of me. I have 2 opportunities right now where I can expand my business that will give me more visibility. And I'm going to be sharing that in the next couple of weeks, that are really going to like elevate my business, elevate what I'll also be offering to my clients. And I'm very excited. One of them today is when I had this conversation. So as an entrepreneur, we're always looking for opportunities. All right. And instead of a job promotion. Okay. Let me, I want to stop the share first. So what do you think about that shift? What caught your attention? And was there anything you want to share?
It's crazy how, like, when you're just an employee, like, you do just enough to not get fired and they pay you just enough to not quit. And then once you're actually an employee, yes, it's like 20 times the work, but you're investing in yourself and your future. Whereas when you have a job, you're just investing in their future.
Exactly. Exactly. You're investing in your future. Again, you are the CEO of your company. It's up to you to make things happen. And so as you're making this shift, for those of you, like, again, you're in your job right now and you're making, and you want to make that shift, but I want you to start thinking as an entrepreneur while you are in your job. And a lot of companies today, they want you to think as an entrepreneur, but you know what? They're the ones that are making money off of you. They want you to have that mindset, but you're not getting the rewards. All right, I'm going to be real here. They're getting the rewards, the benefit. It's not you, but so as an entrepreneur, you're getting the rewards. You're getting the opportunities. You are getting the money. It's all up to you. But yet you could also have nothing. There's uncertainty. All right. You know, entrepreneurship is not for everybody. It really isn't. All right. Because if you think that you're just going to have things handed to you as an entrepreneur, it doesn't happen. You have to go and make it happen. Okay. Any other thoughts on the shifts? Because I want you to really understand that, you know, navigating the shift from an employee to entrepreneur. Any other questions, comments? Okay. Share my screen. All right. Okay, so I think that, yeah, okay. All right, so some common challenges, and I talked about fear in general, but so these are some common challenges, and if anybody can think of any other common challenges, I definitely want to talk about that, because let's talk about the fear of failure. This is huge, and it's a very common concern. When you're starting a business, the first thing you're thinking about is, what if this doesn't work? I'm not going to make money. Who's going to want to buy from me? Who's going to value what I even offer? Okay. And so some things that I want you to think about as we think about fear of failure is it's all about mindset. How are we going to change our mindset? Start thinking about the failure as an opportunities. Like for me, if a potential client says no to me, the old Tina would think I failed. But the new Tina, or the one that's been in business a while, says they're not ready. It's not their time right now, but it's okay. I will continue to move forward. And when they're ready, they're ready. And if they're not ready and they go somewhere else, that's okay too. But if I have conveyed how I can help them, and I don't view that as failure, I might view it as an opportunity. What did I learn from that conversation with that person? Maybe there were some things that I did not convey. Maybe I didn't give enough information. Maybe we didn't connect. Because a lot of times you have to connect with somebody as well. Might not have that vibe, because, you know, let's face it, I'm a coach. There's other coaches out there. I'm not the only one. So don't look at failure as failure, but look at it as an opportunity, all right, to learn from it. And also, we are going to fail in life, in entrepreneurial, in our job, with life, we have failures. But I want you to really change your mindset and take small steps, like break down your goals. What are your goals? And how can you get confidence or gain confidence as you achieve it? So failing, you learn from it, you move forward. You know, what have I learned from this failure? And what can I do differently? And I'm gonna look at a goal. I'm gonna have a goal. I'm gonna break it down in small, achievable steps. Okay. And then I want you also, when we think of fear of failure, visualize that you are being successful. Visualization is huge. Really spend time thinking about, what does success look like for you and your business? And because instead of worrying about failure, you can focus on the positive outcomes. Don't be so focused on the failure or whatever that happened, okay? And this leads into the positive mindset, okay? And one thing I also want, getting back to fear of failure, sorry, always seek support. We can't do this alone. I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't have a coach. I didn't have mentors. I didn't read. I didn't get guidance. I didn't get support, because a lot of times we think we can do it alone, but you can't. You try, and then you're spinning your wheels, and you're spending a lot of time when you could have shortened the learning curve, shortened the time, and maybe get that support, that guidance that you can get from working with someone, okay? And also take action. Even if it's one little thing, I cannot tell you enough how important it is to take action. Even if it's one little thing that you're going to do. All right. So these are some common challenges: the not having a positive mindset, the self-doubt, the lack of confidence. Financial security is huge as we are looking to make that shift to a corporate job. I mean, from a corporate job, I should say. Okay. Looking at our numbers. So I advise any of you, before you want to take that leap, are you financially prepared? And this is something that I did before taking that leap. I created an emergency fund of 6 months worth of money, where I was prepared, that I had a cushion. Now I had a husband as well. And yes, he was there to help, but I'm an independent person. I don't want to rely on someone else. So I needed to bring in money. I needed to have the money before I made that decision to take that leap. So I want you to really think about, do you have a cushion today? So if you're working in a job right now, put some money aside, savings, whatever percentage is comfortable for you, and start putting money aside so that you have that cushion to take that leap, okay? And also, related to financial security, anything you can learn, like, not only saving money, but also cutting debt. What can you remove? What expenses can you remove? That's another thing that I did. I looked at all my expenses and I got rid of some things to prepare myself. So it's being prepared financially so that you can take that leap. So a lot of people, why they don't leave is because of that financial piece. Okay. And that is a big thing. Like, a lot of people say to me, I don't have the money to leave. I need to make money. But isn't it better to at least work towards that and get prepared and start building your business part-time? All right. I'm not ever telling anybody to quit their job and start a business. I want you to work towards it. So financial security is another common challenge that people have. Time management, juggling, managing your time. How am I going to work a full-time job? I have kids, I have responsibilities, and now I have a business as well. And I also have, I want to start a business. So I'm juggling all the time. So this is a very common thing as well, is that how do I manage my time? All right, I could do a whole class on time management. One of the things that I want to recommend. Hi, Tiffany, good to see you. We're just going through our slides. So with managing our time, one thing that I did that I recommend is what I call time chunking. I would be intentional with my time. I would do it on weekends, my business. I would do it on lunchtime, evenings. I was intentional. I put it on my calendar, what time I was going to focus on my business. So that's how I managed my time. So instead of just saying, well, I worked 8 hours, I don't have time to focus on my business. How bad do you want to leave your job and be an entrepreneur? I always tell people it's how bad you want something. And if you want it bad enough, you're going to make it happen. All right, you'll find the money, you'll find the way. But it's how bad, how much pain are you in to make that decision? All right, so these are some common challenges. Are there any challenges that are not here that somebody wants to share that has happened for you or that you're experiencing right now?
I thought of one.
Okay, go,
It's
Kathy.
not necessarily one that's related to my situation right now, but I think a lot of times people don't act on it because of the fear of not having health benefits or any other kind of support background from their employer.
That's a very good one. And that's something I didn't mention because that was one of my biggest too, because my husband was self-employed. I was carrying the paycheck. I was carrying the benefits. So that was a very real challenge. However, I was stuck in my mindset that I would not be able to find an affordable healthcare plan. It was just me and my husband at the time. Okay. So I found a way to find health insurance because I was stuck in my mind that I would have to pay so much money. When I researched it and I found options, I found a health insurance and got insured. And it was even a good plan. It wasn't the best, wasn't the Cadillac plan, but it was good enough for me to be able to afford it and make that decision. But a lot of times we stay stuck in our mindset that we can't do it, that it can't happen. So I want all of us to start thinking about how can we make that shift, all right, and find solutions as we're on this journey. Okay, any other common challenges That's a good one, Kathy. Very real.
I feel like along with the fear of failure, there's also a fear of success.
Yes, yes. You know, somebody told me that a while ago that I had a fear of success. And I looked at them weird and I said, how can you be afraid of success? That doesn't make any sense to me. But when I thought about it, it's when you're successful, how are people going to view you? Are you going to lose people in your family, your friends? Are you going to lose people? Are they going to start judging you and looking at you like different? And, you know, that was something that that came to my attention. And I was like, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. And you know what? The real people are going to be around. All right. And, you know, it's a lot of times you have to be mindful of the people that are looking at you. There's also could be envy. There could be jealousy. There could be their insecurities and they don't want to see you successful. Okay. And so you have that because a lot of times another challenge that I don't have here is the judgment from family, lack of support from family. Okay. Like my husband, he was not supportive. He wasn't. He was self-employed. Remember, I was carrying the consistent paycheck and I was carrying the health insurance. And so I kept always thinking about that, but I wasn't thinking about me. And you know what? It was time to think about me. And so that was the best thing that's ever happened. All right, but that's a very good point. Any other challenges? Fear of success, health insurance, anybody else before we move on? No? Okay. All right. Okay. So this is the tool. Oh, and I'm going to, let me stop the share for a second before, because I want to share this tool. Hi, Tiffany. Now I get to see you. I'm going to share this limiting beliefs worksheet, and you can download it and print it out. And I'll hold on a second. Okay, let me just. Okay, all right. Does everybody see that limiting beliefs worksheet in the chat? Everybody see? Okay, so feel free to print it out. Good. And we're gonna go through that in a couple minutes because I want to talk about the limiting beliefs tool and the worksheet that I want to go through. So let me go back to sharing my screen so that everybody can grab a copy of that. Okay, so disregard my little table because I'm not creative here. Okay, and using PowerPoint. So this is a tool that I've used with my clients. It's called the tabletop tool. And what it is that this is the top of the table, and then you got the legs. And in order for you to have a strong foundation, having legs is having a strong foundation. If you got no legs, you got no table. All right, you got to have strong limiting beliefs. So these are some of positive legs, positive beliefs that I have that I just started to use the language every day. Like people love to pay me. I even have a post-it at my desk. People love to pay me. It's easy to make money. I am grateful I speak to new people every day about my business. I am on my way to becoming a millionaire. These are strong legs, strong language. So I want all of you to think about what are your legs saying? What is your foundation? Instead of saying things like on the right, and these are real, these were mine, like making money is hard. Clients are not paying me. Money is the root of all evil. Only the rich get richer. I grew up with these beliefs. Limiting beliefs are things that we are probably raised with. Could be our family, our friends, our upbringing. I grew up in a very scarcity mindset family. Everything was fear-based. So I grew up with those beliefs on the right here that and the rich get richer. My dad would always say, it's hard to make money. What do you think? Money grows on trees? Things like that. We're not rich. You can't have that because we don't have the money. So I grew up with that. We never have money. And I raised my kids always worrying about money. All right. And my daughter, rest her soul, she was a worry word. My son is the risk taker. My son will take actions. He's a risk taker. He works in a job, but he really should be an entrepreneur. He's the kind of person that really has that entrepreneurial mindset. And I know that one day he will be. But so I want you to really use, and I'm going to send the slides to all of you, by the way. Okay. So just so you know, you'll get these slides. So I want you to really think about your limiting beliefs. And does anybody want to share any of their beliefs right now that you might have?
Yeah, I can share.
Go ahead, Romika.
One thing that I say to myself all the time is I am magnetic to money and money is magnetic to me. Money comes to me easily and effortlessly. And I say that almost every day.
Awesome. I love those. All right. Anybody else want to share some of their beliefs or some limiting beliefs that you have used in your life that were not serving you?
Definitely
Anybody?
the ones you have on the right. Those are like my upbringing. You
That
have
was
right
my
on.
upbringing too. That was my
So
upbringing too.
I'm kind of going against the grain when it comes down to my family. It's like,
Good. Good. Yeah, I'm the only entrepreneur in my family. Everybody has worked for a job, in a job, and I'm the crazy one. I'm the one that's like, well, I can't believe it. Like, what do you do for a job? I'm like, I have a business. They still think of a job. No, I'm running a business. Okay. And it's because I'm running a business that I'm able to do some things that they're not able to do. Okay. So anybody else have any limiting beliefs or any new beliefs that you have changed that you want to share?
Well, yeah. So one of my limited beliefs used to be about my ability to, so I always wanted to have my income at a certain place before I left my job. So one of my limited beliefs was that was impossible to do. Like, there's no way I can pay all these bills and still save money and generate a certain type of income so I can leave my job. But once I shifted my mindset and how I manage my money, I was able to kind of move in the direction that I need to be in.
Good. And that's something that I talked about a few minutes ago, something that I did. I created an emergency fund, 6 months worth of money while I was working, and I cut expenses. I prepared to take that leap. So important to do because you've got money coming in your job. You're also building a business. You might have some clients, some revenue coming in. Take the money and put it away. Start building a savings so that you have the money and you're also getting clients and doing things to build your business. So in the worksheet that you'll have attached, there's five steps that I want you to really identify what your limiting beliefs are. And I want you to go back to where did that come from, those beliefs? Oh, Kathy, you raised your hand. Question.
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You could have kept going.
No,
But
go
I
ahead.
was gonna mention what my limiting belief is, and it's kind of the foundation of how I changed my mindset and we do it. Moms, mothers, women do it, that I'm not capable of doing that. I'm just a mom. I need to take care of these people over here. I can't do it all. I can't. It's that horrible 4-letter word, I can't. And we need to remember that we can. We as humans don't tap into half of our potential that we're able to do things that half of the things that we're able to do. It's amazing the stuff that we leave on the table and we just don't ever try.
Exactly.
So I think that's the
exactly.
biggest thing that I had to stop with is
Yes.
the word I can't.
Yes. So the word I can't. So again, be mindful of the language that we are using. So in the worksheet, so I want you to think about where did your belief come from? I want you to challenge it. What is some evidence that contradicts that belief? And I want you to create new beliefs. And I want you to start implementing and reflecting. So in the worksheet, I really want you to take the time and go through some beliefs you have, shifting your mindset. What are some new beliefs that you're going to implement, incorporate, integrate in your life? Okay, so this tool that I wanted to share with you is the goal is to have a strong foundation. Okay, all right, so, okay, just want to make sure I go to my next slide. Okay, so as we move into the 7 strategies for success, as we're moving into, I'm going to share not only these 7 strategies, but I'm going to also share the foundation to being an entrepreneur. Okay, and then we'll be done by 8:30. Or if have any questions, we'll go a little bit over. Not too much over because I want to respect your time. So these 7 steps are based on my book Freedom: 7 Steps to Thrive in Life and Business. And I wrote these steps. I created that acronym because freedom is very important to me. And so important that I said, I got to write a book about it. So the first step is that faith. It's having the faith that you can do things even when you don't see them. And I'm going to share, because the topic of tonight is the number 1 secret. I'm going to share my number 1 secret that I thought was important. And I want to, get your thoughts on it, but it was something that applied to me. So your belief in yourself, the release is letting go of what you can't control. Like we can control our attitude, we can control our actions, but we can't control other people saying no to us. We can't control their crap. We can't control the weather. We just can't control certain things. So this is something hard for me to do, to let go and not be in control. And I've had to work on this, is that release, being open to possibilities. All right. Evaluation, look at the bigger picture. So look at your career, look at your business, what's not working. I want you to really, again, remember you're the CEO of your business. I want you to have the CEO hat and look at the bigger picture. What is working? What is not working in your career that you need to change? And energy, everything is about energy. It's your physical energy, your emotional, spiritual, financial. What energy do you have? You need the right energy to move forward. And I shared this earlier, there will be risks. That's part of life, especially in entrepreneurship, there are risks. And you want to manage your risks, you want to calculate your risk. I'm not saying to just take a risk and spend money and just go crazy. No, you want to be mindful of where are you spending your money too. But I just want you to know, where are you putting your energy today? Are you focusing on the right things? Positive? Because remember, where your energy goes, okay, it flows, expands. All right, there's another one. I think my coach said this, where your energy flows, manifestation grows. Because we're manifesting more as we're going in the positive direction, okay? All right, the last 3. Determination. When we are determined to achieve success, we achieve whatever our definition of success is. So how determined are you? Remember, I said it earlier, you will find a way if you are determined to make it work, no matter what, and you're going to do it. So stop with the excuses. This is hard. Again, be mindful of your language. Be optimistic. Utilize strategies for weathering the ups and downs of business and life, because there will be ups and downs. Don't we all have ups and downs in our life? How are we weathering them? How are we going through it in spite of the ups and downs? That we're still moving along. And yes, sometimes you're going to have to go backwards a little bit to go forward. Maybe you have to take a pause. It's okay to take a pause and evaluate. Getting back to evaluation earlier, you might have to evaluate, looking at the big picture. And I end freedom with mindset. Is all about attitude. What is your mindset today? It's about having a healthy and sound mindset. Today I was listening to a video from a coach, actually the publisher of my books. And he said in the video, what stories are you telling yourself every day? Are you telling yourself that everything is bad? Everything that's going on in the world, but focus on you, focus on your family, like focus on what's going on with you. What are things that you can control? We can't control what's going on out there. All right. You can control whether you want to watch TV or not. Do you want to watch the news, for example? That's an example of what I'm talking about. You have a choice every day to decide how you're going to choose your day. Be intentional, okay? Any questions, comments before I move on? Does this make sense? Does anybody have any comments? Anybody? You're good? Okay. Okay, so moving on into how do we create that foundation for being an entrepreneur? And these are my 8 steps. These are my 8 steps that I work with my clients. It's part of my business blueprint process. And I go through each of these with my clients as I'm helping you create your foundation. And actually, I'm going to show you. Oh, it's a book. I don't have it with me. Okay, you actually get a book that you are going through each of these steps, okay? So the first one is having a vision of your business. So it's not just having a vision of your own life and what you want to achieve, but it's what's the vision of your business? Where do you see your business going? So again, all of you here tonight are working towards that entrepreneurial full-time, you're in a job, okay? Kathy, even though she says she's just a mom, she's spending a lot of time on her business. So you may be a stay-at-home mom, but you're building, you have a business and you're running a household. So all the moms, we are running households, all right? Number 2, part of the foundation is know your value and what are your customers' problems. What does your customer desire, okay? Know your value. And this is an area that I've had to work on over the years that as a coach, there's other coaches out there. What's my value? And am I conveying my value? Do I understand my own value that I'm conveying, able to convey it to my customers and knowing what their problems and desires are? The third one is your key partners. And now I'm not talking about being in partnership in business, but it's people that you are associating yourself with. You know, like I have my coach, I have my virtual assistant, I had my website designer. These are people that might be my accountant. My husband is an accountant. He's my accountant. These are partners that are part of my, I call it my dream team. They're all part of my business. All right. As I move, grow my business, I might have a social media person. I might have, I don't know, I might have a team of people sharing from Job to Joy vision to creating multiple. Okay. So know who are your partners. And we go in depth with each of these when I'm working with you. Okay. Number 4, what are your customer segments? What do I mean by that? So a customer, I have 3 customer segments. One of them is the women that have left the job. They're already starting their business. The other customer I have is the ones that are in a job. And the other one is, it could be an event host. I want to get paid speaking opportunities. That could be a customer. So all of us have different customers, and each customer, my messaging needs to be conveyed to them specifically. So how we communicate to our customers, what is the messaging, is so important. And knowing your marketing. As an entrepreneur, and that's something I didn't put on the slide that I'm just thinking about now, is you're always going to be marketing your business, always out there, communicating what you do, sharing to your customers, your marketing, you're always there, but knowing where to market. What's your strategy? You got to have a strategy to market. You're not going to be everywhere. All right. Pick maybe 1 or 2 platforms, but don't go crazy and be everywhere. Your revenue, we want to make money. What are our services? What are the programs that we provide? Where is the money going to come from? How are we going to make money? And this is something that I help you to create your services and your programs for your business. And we actually work together pricing them with you. Number 7, what are the activities that you're working on that will bring in revenue? I call these revenue generating activities. I'm not talking about busy work. I'm talking about things that you know that every day is a revenue activity. All right. So for example, being on a phone call with someone, that's a revenue. You're doing a webinar like this tonight. That's a revenue generating activity. Or it could be, okay? But is scrolling through social media and just being busy. So you want to be mindful, where are you spending your time? What are the activities? And the last one is, you got to know, what is it costing to stay in business? And this is something that I'm doing right now with my own coach. We're going through what is called debrief. I am debriefing my own business with her, knowing what my profit is, what is it costing me, what is each program costing me, what is my profit margin. I'm not a numbers person. I just know how much I charge, how much money I'm getting in. I track everything. But as far as percentages and profit, I'm learning more about profit margin. Okay. So these are the 8 steps to building your foundation that we all need to start a business. And it's like that table that I shared earlier. You got to have the legs holding the table, right? You got to have that foundation. You can't have a roof of a house without a basement. Okay. Or the first floor, whatever you have. Okay. Any comments on these? Any questions, thoughts from anybody?
I was just gonna say that knowing how to effectively communicate your message and your drive, like I know why I do what I do, but like explaining that to people is probably one of my biggest problems right now.
Okay, good. That's good. That's good. So that is a very common thing. You know what you want to do. You have a clear picture of your business, but now it's like, how do I communicate it? How do I market it? Where do I market? You know, I may think that my programs and services are for everybody, but they're not for everybody. You want to get clearer on who is your audience, who is your customer avatar. And then we go through this in this process with customer segments, is knowing their pains and desires. And we work together to come up with your customer profile. Okay. All right. Okay. So this is the secret that I thought of that was important to me, is self-awareness. Are you aware of yourself, what you want? What is your why? Knowing your why. I have a whole process of getting you to know your why. What are you going after? And what is it going to take to get you there? It's knowing your values, knowing your desires, and the lifestyle that you want to lead. This is something that I worked on, that I thought was my secret, because when you know yourself, that's the first step, is that whole self-awareness piece. Then we can work on the rest. But you got to start with knowing who you are, being aware of it, and knowing your why. And what is it that you desire and want to create? What are your thoughts of this? What do you think your secret is? Or what do you think about this one? Because this was mine. Comments, anybody? Do you think this is important?
Yeah, I think knowing your why is one of the biggest things when it comes to starting your own business. You really got to have a solid why, because that's what's going to drive you and push you throughout it.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I agree 100% with all of this.
It really is. It really is. So that was what I thought was my secret to leaving, is really knowing, because even before I left the corporate job, is knowing what I wanted, knowing what my values were. My values, having freedom, flexibility, integrity. I desired to be in my own business, to do what I love to do, impacting other women to do what they love to do as well. Okay. Romika, Tiffany, Chandra, you still there?
Yes, and
Okay.
yeah, and I like what you shared, and I think this makes great sense, as far as having that self-awareness. And I know people who've left their 9 to 5 and just jumped out of there, no self-awareness. And I think also what coming with that self-awareness and knowing your why, then that helps you develop a plan, a direction that you want to go in. So, and I think that what you pointed out here is where you start to kind of develop that plan, and then you grow, from there.
Absolutely. Great. You got to, yeah, you got to start there. Okay. Yeah. And I know some people, they say, well, for example, you finished certification as a coach, you just got your certification. I'm a coach, I'm in business. And you have no idea about any of those strategies that I talked about, the foundation, I should say, the foundation, because you need those strategies for success, but you need that foundation, all of those 8 steps that I talked about in order to be in business. All right. And what I've seen a lot is that people don't even start, and they just go right in with the website and a logo, and they think they're in business, and they're not. They haven't created that foundation.
Yeah, that's why it's so many failures in business, because I think they have the wrong idea what entrepreneur is. It's like, oh, I have a great idea. Oh, my logo is pretty. Oh, my website is beautiful. And then when they launch their business and nobody buy anything, no one, it's like they're all discouraged because their mindset was wrong from the beginning, and it goes back to your foundation.
Yes,
And
yes,
why. I think your why is like the number one, because just like Clara said, um that's what keeps you going. That's your foundation. So if you don't have a why of why you're doing what you're doing, you're fail. I believe you'll fail every time.
yeah. You got to know why. It begins there. And so one of the things that I help women is get clear on your why. So for some women that come to me and they don't know what they even want to do, we begin with the clarity. We begin with helping them to know their why. And then we move into the foundation, those 8 steps in creating your business blueprint. Okay. But it begins with that first step, is knowing what you want, and not go website and logo. That's not the first thing you should be doing. What you need is a client that will give you money. Okay. So that you can go pay for the website and the cards and the logo after. All right. Because you got to know what your business is. You got to know who your customer is. You got to know what you do and convey it, communicate it clearly, how you do it and who you help. Okay. And because your brand that you'll have is going to be on your website, but you got to write what your brand is. You got to convey that messaging. All right. And that's part of your brand on your website, but it's not the first thing that needs to be done. Okay. All right. So that was my secret. And then we're almost done. What time is it? Okay. Oh, good. 8:10. All right. So here's my offer tonight. And that I want to offer to all of you here. And like I said, for those of you that came late, I'm going to be sending you the slides, and I'm going to be sending you the replay, the replay of tonight. But I have my Empower Her 3-month coaching program. And for today, I am offering it. It was $24.97. Now it's $19.97. I have flexible payment plans. I'm very flexible. Inner Circle members. I do have an Inner Circle community, Romika, and who are in the community, and they get a 10% discount for being in the community. And the website is right here. You can learn more about what you get, but I'm also offering bonuses on what you goes beyond the website. And the bonuses are, you get not only this 3-month coaching, but you get an additional 3 months of 1 hour a month of follow-up sessions with me. All right. So my time, 1 hour for an extra 3 months. You also get 3 copies of my book. My book is right here. Freedom: 7 Steps to Thrive in Life and Business. And if you want, You'll also get 3 months for free, 3 free months to the Inner Circle community. The community is $29 a month, but you get 3 months for free if you enroll in this program. Anybody wants to have a conversation with me, I'm going to put my link to schedule a call with me on my calendar. I will put that in the chat. I will also leave you with this, how to connect with me, my website, my Facebook, email, LinkedIn. This is my link. I'll put it in the chat as well for scheduling a calendar conversation or a call with me. I'll put that in here. Well, thank you. I love it. Thank you so much. Hold on, let me put my calendar link. All right, I want to thank everybody for this webinar. I'm going to stop the recording in a bit, but I just want to thank everybody for this information that I shared, and I hope that you found it valuable. Thank you, Steph, for sharing that. I'm going to stop the recording